Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat. Today we're going to be talking about a $50 budget commander deck, excluding the commander's price. This deck is loosely based off the Command Zone's rule of thumb for commander decks. That would be 10 ramp, 10 card draw, 5 removal, and 5 board wipes. In this deck, however, I don't want board wipes because our deck is about cascading into our awesome spells and hopefully creatures show up, and now our creatures all have haste. It makes for a very nice and short game. So let's talk about our commander. Maelstrom Wanderer, 5 colorless, red, blue, green. Legendary creature, elemental, 7/5. Creatures you control have haste. Cascade, Cascade. When you cast this spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exiled cards on the bottom in a random order, then do it again. To help those who don't understand how Cascade works, when you cast your commander while he is on the stack, you will cascade twice. The first spell will resolve. Then you will cascade again. Then the second card will resolve. Then your commander will resolve. I hope that clears up any confusion. So next we have 4 categories we're going to be talking about. The first one being big spells. I have 3 cards here, and when I say big spells, I mean they make a big difference in the game. Warstorm Surge. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. See the Unwritten. Reveal the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a creature from among them on the battlefield, put the rest in your graveyard, or if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may put 2 creatures instead of 1. And Ethereum Horn Sorcerer. Another way to cascade in this deck. It's really awesome to cast your commander and get something like this out of it. Up next, we're going to talk about category number 2. Nice creatures you have there. These next 3 cards pretty much do the same thing. We have Clever Impersonator. You may have Clever Impersonator enter the battlefield as a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. That can mean your stuff or the opponent's. Next up is Molten Primordial. It has haste. When Molten Primordial enters the battlefield, for each opponent gain control of up to 1 target creature that player controls until end of turn. Untap those creatures, they gain haste until end of turn. Last we have Zealous Conscripts. Haste. When Zealous Conscripts enters the battlefield, gain control of target permanent until end of turn. Untap that permanent, it gains haste until end of turn. As you can see, this deck can be really powerful by using our opponent's stuff as well. Up next, we have category number 3 with Returning Our Commander. These cards are going to help us get our commander back, and that's really important because we want to keep casting our commander to get free spells with our cascade triggers. So let's talk about these cards. We have Crystal Shard. We can either pay 3 colorless or a blue and tap. Return target creature to its owner's hand unless its controller pays 1. Now we will usually choose our commander, and we obviously won't pay the 1 mana, or we can also use it against our opponent when they're all tapped out. Temur Sabertooth. 1 and a green. You may return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, Temur Sabertooth gains indestructible until end of turn. Lastly, we have Brawl's Expertise. Return up to 3 target artifacts and or creatures to their owner's hands. We'll choose our commander. Maybe an opponent's thing here or there. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Now, category number 4. How do we win? Well, there's a couple ways. We can cast our commander, probably cascade into 3 or 4 creatures. They all have haste, swing. We can kill an opponent that way. There's also, like I said before, Warstorm Surge. Creatures will enter the battlefield under our control and we'll just deal damage here and there. So that's going to wrap up the $50 budget commander deck, excluding the commander's price, and these prices will fluctuate, of course, as, Pioneer just came out. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a like and comment of which commander I should do a budget deck next. A peace.